Are you sure this is the road?
I think it is.
Rudolph, what has gotten into you? That's craziness. That's a lot of water.
That's a lot more water than I thought.
We are Dave, Carrie, and Rudolph. In 2018, we set out to explore one adventure at a time. Join us as we continue our journey to find the best free camping.
This is great. I love it. Alright, so one of the first things I see when I open up the slider is a sloppy fire pit and a little bit of trash laying around, so that's going to be priority number one. All right, this whole process only took about 5 minutes. Now when I open the door, a nice neat fire ring and no trash. Well, that was well worth the effort. Now we can have fun and play ball with Rudolph if he wants to play ball. You want to play ball? Oh, good boy. Today we are in Oregon, somewhere between Sisters and Springfield off of Highway 126. Right along the McKenzie River. And this is the Willamette National Forest. We're free camping here. We picked this nice open area, hopefully to get some charge from the sun. And we're getting a little bit right now. It's been raining most of the last 4 days. And some of the camping around here is pretty treed up to where you're not gonna get any sun through the whole day, even if it does stop raining. But we've got some cool stuff planned in this area, so this makes a perfect place to free camp and explore from here. I'm really looking forward to seeing that McKenzie River and some of the waterfalls, and maybe doing a little bit of mushroom hunting since we are in the Cascades of Oregon. So the best way to stop the rain is to break out all your rain gear from the back of the vehicle. And this is weird because this is the month of June. We haven't needed our rain gear in 8 months, but now we need it.
I found it.
And Carrie found it.
It was way in the back in the farthest corner you could find.
Oh gosh.
We haven't used it since the beet harvest.
We've had snow, but not rain.
And now that we got it out, there'll probably be no more rain in Oregon.
Probably, but either way, we'll be ready.
So I guess this is a great opportunity to reorganize the back. Anybody want a big kahuna shower?
I know, we're getting rid of that. Somewhere towards that mountain range right there in the middle is the Mackenzie River, before you get there, of course. And it didn't look like there was any access, but when I had the drone up, just kind of looking at the surrounding area, I noticed that there's an old road that leads all the way down to the river, which is great. I love hikes that we can do right from camp. So we're gonna get our stuff ready, go ahead and go down there and see what we can find. All right, so I saw the road somewhere over here. I guess I should have paid a little bit more attention, because now it's a little bit unclear where the road is. It was definitely more clear from the air, but this looks like an old road to me. I mean, it's pretty flat here for an old lava flow. So I think this is it. Doesn't look like it gets any use at all. So it look like a road? This has got to be it. Yeah, I think it is. This has got to be it.
Well, you wouldn't have spotted this from the road.
Yeah, this is one of those things that the drone really came in handy for. Yeah, this is one of those things that the drone really, from the edge of the road, it looks like came in handy for. Wow, that's a big cedar. That is a big one.
Wow.
Isn't that cedar huge?
That's tall.
Wow. Check this out, kind of up on an old car. Still got the emergency brake on. That's good. Probably a car guy out there somewhere that knows what make and model and year this is. But it's pretty hammered. Rudolph's a little jumpy. Let's go look at the back end. Pretty neat.
I'm trying to figure out the road on top of the lava field. Have you ever seen that?
No, I've never seen that before.
And like right here, they piled it.
Yeah, they put effort out to do this road, so
it's a fire road, maybe?
A fire break or an access point for
an old
for forest fire, I guess.
I mean, I like it.
So this is right by the old road, and it looks like a well. I know it's not, but it goes down there maybe 15 or 20 feet, and then there's water at the bottom of it. So it must be like the access to an old lava tube, an area where it just caved in. Yeah, don't get that, you don't have to get that close, Carrie. It's pretty round though.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It looks like there might be a tube running.
I bet you there is a tube and it's just the top that fell in. All right, well, we're getting closer to the river. We may have to cut over to it. I don't know if this road's gonna go right to it or not. Rudel doesn't mind. Yeah, this is fun stuff. Is this fun stuff? Yes, it is. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, you're a good dog.
All right, my confidence level of us getting to the river is waning. We keep hiking and hiking and hiking. The road keeps going and going and going.
Well, we're transitioning from the lava field into more of a forest. There's still lava rocks here, but definitely more foresty. And the road's definitely getting hard to tell. It's so overgrown. I feel like we're in the deep, dark woods now. But we're starting to see some mushrooms. This one's hard for me to tell what it is, but I'm thinking that might be a coral mushroom. We'll have to check it out later in my book and see if that's what it is. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Rudel, what has gotten into you? That's craziness. I guess you're liking the hike, huh? Are you liking the hike?
We could find a big clearing. I know, easy up. I don't want you hurting yourself.
He's going crazy.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
That's a new one for Rudel. Trying to cool down, I guess.
I think he likes the hike. Unless there's something really stinky there.
Okay, don't roll in that, Rudel. Okay. All right, so this is super impressive. I made it to the Mackenzie River, but it is so thick I can't get to the water's edge, and you can probably just barely see it. You can see how thick the cover is here. And as far down as I can see in both directions, there's no access point. So a little bit of a bad ending to a good view of an awesome river. But I'm gonna hike back, catch back up with Carrie. She stayed back about a quarter of a mile. And that is what I'm hiking through to get back to her. So I don't blame her for not coming along. The water's crystal clear. It's just inaccessible, at least at this point.
Are we calling it?
We're gonna call it. We seem to be following down the river, but not really making it over to the water. And we know some really good spots where we can see the river on short trails. We're probably 2-3 miles away from the van right now, so I think we're gonna head back.
Which means 2 or 3 miles back to the van.
Yeah, uphill.
Uphill.
But
I mean, this road could keep going for miles.
it could. It's an absolute gorgeous walk, just looking at the moss and the lava tubes and the thick forest. I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah, and it's nice to walk on the road because you have a clearing to walk. Otherwise, you'd be bushwhacking.
We're gonna head back and take one of the trails that take us right to the water.
Yeah, I agree.
On another day, probably.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's head back.
One of the perks of this location is there is a waterfall really close by. I'm not getting my hopes up because it's right on the side of the road, So it could be very busy already this morning. But we're gonna go check it out.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. This is one of the main reasons that we're here. And then after the waterfall hike, we've heard about a blue hole, basically an area of the river that's super clear and blue, and maybe it's round. I don't know, but we're gonna try to explore that too.
Yes. Dave, the Blue Pool Trail is closed.
Oh, that's a real bummer.
It's closed for maintenance and restoration.
All right, we'll just have to see what else we can find.
Oh man, glad we saw that.
Oh. Oh, that is cool. I could hear the noise, but I didn't expect that much water to be coming out of there. Dang.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot more water than I thought. And I love all the moss and green around it. That is a cool waterfall. This is a giant cedar tree right here. And when I walked past it, it really reminded me of a redwood tree. Very similar bark on it. And it's huge. And it looks really happy here getting all the mist from the waterfall. This is how it usually works. Me and Rudel are back here. He's on leash, staying away from the edge. And Carrie gets all the way up next to the side, which I don't like. But the river here is really amazing. And the Mackenzie River actually goes into the Willamette River, and then the Willamette turns into the Columbia River. So it's got quite a journey from here. huge. We noticed a few cars in the parking lot, but nobody else is taking this trail to the second falls. It is a little bit muddy and wet right now, but I just don't think people realize that this second falls is incredible. So we've got it all to ourselves. I definitely recommend taking this hike. All right, we are heading back now, and the trail's down there by the river that we came down, and the trail kind of loops around, so you can walk the trail back up, or you can take this old access road in between the two falls, and that's how we're going back. It's a little bit drier and easier walking, but they link the two falls together, make it pretty simple to get from one to the next. My favorite thing about this area is the McKenzie River and those waterfalls. I thought it was stunning, and just all the green moss surrounding, the thick woods. I love it all. Yeah.
Now the McKenzie River is crystal clear. Oregon is having an unheard amount of rain this year. It's June, it's the middle of June. I know the river is flowing high and hard, and it's still crystal clear.
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful river.
Okay, so what you need to know if you come to this location, first off, there's no amenities and no cell signal.
I think maybe that's why we have it to ourselves.
That could be.
If there's no water and no cell signal, it's all yours.
And yeah, it's open. So this camp spot that we're at right now is pretty nice as far as rig size. If you have a Class C or smaller, you're not going to have any problem at all. There's at least 4 or 5 different places that you can choose from to park.
Yeah.
And I do recommend parking away from the road because the road noise is kind of amplified in this area.
Definitely. You might be able to hear that. That's the one thing I would say about this spot is the road noise is very noticeable. Not so much at night because it calms down, but in the daytime you will absolutely hear tons of traffic.
Yes. If you have a high clearance vehicle, a small high clearance vehicle, there is 8 or 10 places to camp up here, and you can get far away from other people if there is anybody here.
Yeah.
And just, it's a really cool area. Nice old lava bed. It has a lot of interesting things to check out while you're around.
It does. That's what I was going to say. If you get a chance, just take a small walk through some of the lava. You will be amazed at the things, the plants, the flowers, the succulents growing out of the lava. I just don't know how Mother Nature does it, but
yeah. Not to mention there's all kinds of wild edibles around here, lots of berries.
Yeah.
They're not quite ripe yet. So both of those waterfalls that we hiked to are only 2 miles away from here. And generally I would think about just walking up the road and then getting on the trail, but the road is busy and it's just not a good road to walk on. But 2 miles away there is pit toilets, there is a dumpster, so that is the closest amenities.
Yeah, I think this is a really busy area. I'm thinking maybe we hit it just before the peak of the busiest part.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody else has camped up here. I mean, this is fantastic. People are missing out.
The waterfalls are spectacular. There's an ice cap campground that looks like it's right along the McKenzie River, $18 a night. If you want to camp next to the river, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I
agree. From here, we wanted to go and check out Blue Hole. Unfortunately, the trail is closed, so we will have to come back another time.
Yeah, and I think
check that out.
I think that's only a couple miles down the road from here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to do right here in the area. There's a lot of trails to hike, river to see. The camping was fantastic.
According to our DeLorme paper map, it looks like the camping only gets better the closer we get to Springfield, which I think we're only 60 miles from Springfield.
Yep.
So we're going to head that direction and see what we can get ourselves into.
Yep. We thank you for joining us, and we hope you will join us next week.
Happy boondocking. Rudolph likes it here.
He does.
He can
Rudolph's
get
having
his ball.
Good time. If you would like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron, or check out our new merchandise at oneadvantureatatime.com. We also have stickers available in our website store. Thank you for watching.